Hello everyone. In this lecture, I'll be discussing the selection rules for the electronic transitions in coordination complexes, and then we'll move on to the questions that come in NetGate and TIFR from this section. So in the previous lecture, we had seen why transition metal complexes are colored because of the electronic transitions they do. But just because they are able to do electronic transitions, would that mean that every possible transition is allowed? Or there are certain rules which say that okay, this transition is allowed and this transition is not allowed. So indeed, like if you had looked at my series on molecular spectroscopy, you would have seen that for every kind of transition, certain rules certain rules are made which can be used to figure out whether a particular transition is allowed or not. And that is true even for coordination complexes. So those rules are known as the selection rules. Okay. Now, so just like in case of any molecular spectroscopy, whether it's vibration, whether it's rotation, any transition between two energy levels should come with some amount of transition dipole moment or transition integral. So that would mean the transition integral or the transition dipole moment should not be equal to 0 for the two states in between which the transition is occurring. That is also applicable in the case of coordination complexes. Now, how is that going to happen? For the transition integral to be not equals to 0, there should be some change in the dipole moment which is occurring because of the transition. So it should not happen that the dipole moment does not change. There is no change in the dipole moment of the system. In that case, the transition will not be allowed. Okay. Now you can think in this sense that the transition or the coordination complex interacts with the electric field of the incoming radiation and produces some change in its dipole moment by interacting with the electric field. Now, how can you figure out in case of inorganic complexes that whether there is a change in the dipole moment or not? So you can think in these terms that if there is a transition which is occurring between the same type of orbitals, let's say we are talking about orbitals, let's say we are talking about transition from S to S or P to P or D to D. Now in these cases, there is no change in the dipole moment of the system. Why? Because the orbitals are still the same. I'm not going into the mathematical and the physical interpretation of it. You can remember it like in this sense that the transition between the same type of orbitals is never allowed because there is no change in the dipole moment of the system. So these these transitions are not allowed. So what kind of transitions are allowed? Which includes some change in the dipole moment of the system. So that would mean we can have transitions like S to P, P to D, and similarly D to F, and at the same time the other way around is also possible. After absorption, if there is an emission, that is also possible. So these transitions are allowed. Okay. Now, if you see, I have specifically not written transitions like S to D or P to F. Why? Are they allowed or are they not allowed? We'll see that in some time. So far we have seen that there should be change in dipole moment. This is the primary criteria which will decide whether a transition is allowed or not. Because of that, we have seen that the transition between different orbitals, different symmetry orbitals is allowed, and the transition between same symmetry orbitals is not allowed. Okay, so now we are talking about symmetry. So the selection. Okay, so coming to the first selection rule now, that is the Laporte or orbital selection rule. And what does that say? It says that for those complexes which are centrosymmetric. And what do you mean by centrosymmetric complexes? That would mean they have center of symmetry or inversion. They have the symmetry property of inversion I. Okay, so for those complexes which are centrosymmetric, allowed transitions are those must involve orbitals having different symmetry with respect to inversion. Now, what do you mean by with respect to inversion? So, let's say you have, let's say, so in case of orbital or even in case of general symmetry properties, if a molecule has an inversion center, if it has a center of symmetry, that would mean, let's say you have an SF6. So when you go from one side to the other, you reach a similar atom, right? So this sulfur atom is the center of symmetry. For those molecules or for those situations when there is a center of symmetry, they are known to be Girardet. That means Girardet has I. And if there is no center of symmetry, they are known as Ungirardet. No I. Okay. So that would mean if you want two different symmetries with respect to I, that would mean the transition should be from Ungirardet to Girardet or Girardet to Ungirardet. So these are the allowed transitions, and the not allowed ones are Ungirardet to Ungirardet and Girardet to Girardet. Okay. So so this kind of is an extension of this, that d orbitals have the same symmetry, so d to d transition is not allowed. P orbitals have the same symmetry, so p to p transition is not allowed. Similarly for s. And since S, P and D have different symmetry, so that is why S to P, P to D and D to F is allowed. Now I told you I will discuss about S to D and P to F. Now S orbital has Girardet, D orbital has Girardet, P orbital has Ungirardet, F orbital also has Ungirardet. So that is why these transitions are also going to be not allowed, because they are of the same symmetry with respect to I. Okay. So we need not every time look at a complex and do all these kind of calculations in our mind. We can just simply deduce it to a form which we can remember, which is that the delta L should be plus minus 1. That means there should be some change in the magnetic quantum number of the orbitals which are involved. So whether it's from S to P or P to S, it will be plus 1 or minus 1. P to D, D to P, it will be plus 1 or minus 1. And D to F or F to D is also be plus minus 1. S to D is not allowed, so plus minus 2 is not possible. Similarly for P to F, plus minus 2 is also not possible. And plus minus 3, that means you are saying from S to, let's say, F. That kind of transition would require a huge amount of energy, and that is most often not seen. Okay, so you have reached a point when there is plus dl equals to plus minus 1. This is one of the selection rules, that is the Laporte selection rules. So this is the mathematical form of the Laporte selection rule. Mind it, it is always applicable only for centrosymmetric complexes which have a center of symmetry. We'll see what happens when there is no center of symmetry. Okay. So this is the first one. And the second one is spin selection rule. Okay. Now the spin selection rule says that only those transitions are allowed which involve no change in the spin multiplicity of the entire molecule. That would mean there should not be any change in the spin direction, or there should not be any spin inversion. What do you mean by that? So let's take the example of Mn plus 2. Mn plus 2 will have in an octahedral complex, in a hive spin complex, this configuration. Now if there has to be some kind of electronic transition to occur, that would mean you would have inversion of this electron. So the spin multiplicity in this case was 5 by 2 into 2 plus 1, 6, and in this case it is 3 by 2 into 2 plus 1, so that is 4. So the delta S is here 2. Now this is not a allowed transition because of the spin inversion which is occurring. Okay, so the mathematical form of the spin selection rule says that delta S should be equals to 0 for an allowed transition. Okay, if there should not be any change in the spin multiplicity of the molecule. So this is your number 2, this is your number 1. So these are the two very or most important selection rules when you are looking at electronic transitions in coordination complexes. But just because there are selection rules, it is not mandatory or it is not necessary that there cannot be any other transition which does not follow these. That is why, I mean, if you look at the centrosymmetry, if the thought has come across your mind so far that it's not necessary for every molecule to have a center of symmetry. Let's say, for example, tetrahedral complexes or tetrahedral molecule, they don't have any center of symmetry. At the same time, trigonal bipyramidal complexes or square pyramidal complexes, they don't have a center of symmetry. So if they don't have a center of symmetry, so they should not be following this rule, right? That is known as a relaxation of the Laporte selection rule, which we are going to discuss now. Okay, so talking about the relaxation of Laporte selection rules. Okay, so when there is no center of symmetry, okay, for example, in tetrahedral square square pyramidal or trigonal bipyramidal, so they don't have a center of symmetry, so the dl equals to plus minus 1 is no more applicable here. So for them dl can be 0, dl can be 2. That means for them dd transition, pp transition is also allowed. Okay, so this is a straightforward explanation to the relaxation of the Laporte selection rule. But why is this happening? So if you want to take a little take a look at the little deeper level, so if you remember the molecular orbital diagram of tetrahedral complexes, so for a convenience I am displaying it on the screen. So if you see, there are two sets of T2 orbitals from the metal, one coming from the d orbitals which have symmetry Girardet, and one from the p orbitals which have symmetry on Girardet. And in the formation of the molecular orbitals, there is mixing occurring from both. That means both the orbitals take part to form new molecular orbitals. Now, because of this mixing, which is also known as the PD mixing, some un-Girardet character is imparted to the new molecular orbital, newly found molecular orbital. Now, the E orbital are still Girardet because they are not bonding, they are not taking part in any kind of bonding. So, these are the E orbitals which have the electrons. Now, since this is Girardet, this is partly un-Girardet. So, since it has got some un-Girardet character, now this transition is possible and it is allowed. So, because of this, DD transition is becoming possible. Okay, at the same time, since this has got some p orbital takes part and gets some un-Girardet character, I mean, not in the case of tetrahedral complexes, but in some other cases, because of these situations of PD mixing, the p orbital gets some Girardet character now, and because of that, p to p transition is also allowed. So let's say you have one p orbital which undergoes mixing, two p orbitals which does not undergo mixing. This is U, this is partly G. So this kind of transition becomes possible only in case of PD mixing, and PD mixing occurs when there is no center of symmetry. So this is the case of those molecules which do not have a center of symmetry, but relaxation of Laplace selection rule is also possible in case of those molecules which originally had a center of symmetry. Let's say we are talking about octahedral complexes. Now I'm giving you a small example of, let's say, CO2. This has a center of symmetry, right? If it is vibrating symmetrically, the center of symmetry is intact, it remains there. But if it is vibrating asymmetrically, so the center of symmetry is now destroyed, because if you travel from this distance to this much, on going the same distance you do not find another oxygen. Okay, or you can say by passing a symmetry axis, if you rotate it by 180 degree, you do not find the same molecule again. So that would mean there is no center of symmetry in asymmetric vibrations. Because of that, because of this momentary destruction of the center of symmetry, or because the molecule loses its center of symmetry for some small span of time, the relaxation rules are relaxed for that amount of time. And because of this, the asymmetric vibrational transitions mix with the electronic transitions, which is also known as vibronic coupling. Okay, and because of this vibronic coupling, the selection rules are relaxed because they get some UG mixing. Some un-Girardet and Girardet mixing occurs. Orbitals having Girardet get some un-Girardet character, and orbitals having un-Girardet get some G character, and because of this, the DD transitions become allowed, PP transitions also become allowed. Delta L equals to plus minus 1 is no more valid, specifically for that amount of time when there is an asymmetric stretching occurring. If there is a symmetric stretch, this is not going to be true. Okay, so this is about the Laplace selection rule. But even in the case of spin selection rule, there can be relaxation. Now there are not many questions on the relaxation of spin selection rule. That's why I'm not going to discuss it in detail. So just you can remember it in the sense whenever there is a coupling, there is a Russell-Sanders coupling occurring, because of which there is some momentary relaxation in the spin selection rule of the molecule. I think that's sufficient. Even if you don't remember it, that's fine. There are no questions previously from this relaxation of the spin selection rules. Okay. We have done this. Okay. Now let's take a look at. Okay. So if you remember those transitions which are allowed, they have high value of the molar absorptivity coefficient. Now, where does that come from? So, if you remember the Lambert-Bates law, absorbance is equals to epsilon Cl, right? Concentration, path length of the solution, and the molar absorptivity coefficient. Now, the molar absorptivity coefficient gives you the intensity of the transition that is occurring. Okay, now for those transitions which are allowed, which are favorable, which has a higher transition moment, transition dipole moment, will have higher value of the molar absorptivity coefficient. Now, depending on the selection rules, whether they are allowed, whether they are not allowed, whether they are partly allowed, this molar absorptivity coefficient has a specific value, and that gives you some idea about the intensity, and various different complexes have been categorized according to that. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll move on to the questions that we have.